So I'm sitting here pre-playoffs and I'm thinking, the Battle of Alberta in round 2 is going to be fantastic. Not only for Canada, but for Alberta, for Edmonton, for Calgary, for hockey fans everywhere, for my YouTube channel. And then Johnny Gaudreau decides to be playoff Johnny Gaudreau, and the Flames do Flames things. Welcome back to the channel, 4th video of the day. I'll be honest, the black circles under my eyes are just huge, covering the Pacific here, the time zone. I'm in Winnipeg, as you can see behind me. It's tough, but Flames fans, what's tougher? It's playing the Dallas Stars the way you're playing them. The Dallas Stars are playing a perfect game for Dallas, and our analysis going into this is 1, the Flames should trounce them, and 2, the Stars are aged and old. So, friends of the Dallas Stars friends on this channel, fans, viewers, first-time watchers, I don't hate the Dallas Stars. I don't dislike the Dallas Stars. I didn't underrate the Dallas Stars. I underrated the Calgary Flames' ability to perform in the playoffs. It's that simple. The Calgary Flames are a juggernaut of a team, and they've decided to not show up. Head-manned by Johnny Gaudreau, 1 point again today. Look, Gaudreau's points as we were going in were well documented into the playoffs. Mitch Marner ended up turning it around for the Leafs, but we're not here to talk about the Leafs. We're here to talk about the Flames. The Flames' top line just can't get it going. Matthew Tkachuk may as well be asleep. I mean, he's trying it a good game 1, but after that, basically invisible. Go ahead and go choke on a mouthpiece at this point. Like, seriously, at this, like, how do you not choke on that mouth guard? I like Matthew Tkachuk. I love Elias Lindholm. I love Johnny Gaudreau. I had all 3 of these guys in my top 10 forwards of the year, and they deservedly should have been there. Hanifin is one of the most elite defensemen in the NHL. Markstrom may be the second best goalie in the playoffs, right behind Jake Oettinger. Look, Oettinger is a 6'5" monster of a man that Calgary hasn't been able to figure out. What are you supposed to do with north of 40 shots? Calgary gets north of 40 shots in this game. I mean, they are putting what they can on the net. This is simple Daryl Sutter hockey. Straight lines, put pucks on net. But you cannot rely on Trevor Lewis and the 4th line to score goals for you and carry you. So when your 4th line in Lewis gets the type of goal that he gets, and that's a bonus, you're like, yay, you should be able to win this game because that's a goal you should have never gotten. And I'm not pooping on Trevor Lewis. We had him over here at the Jets. He is what he is. He's a role player. Calgary's got one of those deeper lineups, and when Lindholm ends up scoring that goal from Gaudreau, I was like, oh, thank God. Monkey is off the back for this first line. Like, come on, guys. Like, there's something going on in Calgary. And Dallas is just playing Dallas hockey. Jason Robertson's an absolute monster. He's one of the best players on this team. Second best only to Miro Heiskanen, who's an absolutely elite stud of a defenseman. The defense of the Calgary Flames has been well documented. So you had good defense with Jake Oettinger in the front at 6'5", who may as well be Marc-Andre Fleury. Ugh, I was going the wrong place. Sorry, guys. It's a little late here in the Central. He may as well be Andre Vasilevsky light. I mean, he's just as big, if not bigger, than Connor Hellebuyck. I think they've found their future answer in net forever and then some. This guy's an incredible goalie. But Calgary, you got to be able to beat them. You got to be able to get around this. Like, it's just not enough good chances. Even though you get 41 and he stands on his head, they may end up actually losing this series. So Dallas fans, you might be sitting there going, hey, we knew it all along. Flames fans, you may not be worried yet, but you should be worried. This is not good hockey. I'm not going to spend a lot of time. I'm going to spend no time breaking down any of these goals. And it's not because you don't deserve it. It's because I'm quite tired. And most of these goals at the end of the day were just grindy goals. There's a couple power plays here and there. But this is not Flames hockey. The nervous thing we said going into this game for the Flames, though, and not even this game, let's say this series, is that they play in the Pacific. So Dallas comes out of the Central. They're a wild card in the Central. And you think, yay, it's a Central team. Yay, we get... Told you the Central was better than you guys. Like, the Pacific is a weak division, straight up. At the very least, at least the Edmonton Oilers can score. But we can't even comment on the Oilers yet because they're playing another Pacific team in the Los Angeles Kings. So I said the Flames got everything that they need to be one of the best, if not the best team in the NHL. I have them as my Western Conference favorite. But at the end of the day, if you play in a weak division, your stats may have just been totally overinflated by playing in that division. Might have been. I'm not sure. It's a very disappointing game if you're a Flames fan, and it's a very disappointing game if you're somebody looking at this going, this should be an elite team. But we know every year that there is a wild card team or a team down in the standings that ends up upsetting the first place team. So it's happening to Calgary in the West. It's happening to Florida in the East. This is why they made 7-game series. So it's only game 3. There's nothing to panic about. But if I'm Calgary, I am actually panicked because that first line has gone to sleep. The second line with Tyler Toffoli, Where are you? I mean, you're putting shots on net, but you got to finish. Your job is to finish. That is what you were paid to do. Jacob Markstrom, like I said, second best goalie in the playoffs right now, next to Oettinger. These are the two best goalies going on. Everybody else has been blown up for 4 to 6 goals. Shesterkin got pulled today, so I would have had Shesterkin as one if he didn't end up getting pulled. He does. Vasilevsky has had holes. Jack Campbell has had holes. Everybody has had holes, and half the teams in the playoffs don't even have their starting goalie at this point in time. So rough go if you're a Flames fan. Great go if you're a Stars fan. The nice thing about Calgary in this game is that they're consistent in getting shots in each period. What's been unique about these playoffs has been the fact that there has been massive momentum swings game in and game out with every team. This has been the most consistent series, and this was the first game in this series that I felt, and I've watched every playoff series here, people. I just told you I'm tired, so I'm not biased on this. This is the first game in the series where I felt like there was some jam, and it wasn't just a log jam up the middle. I felt like this was a playoff game. Tons of battle, tons of slashes, whacks, fights. I mean, when you start off on a fight in the first period, that's excellent. This had a lot of intensity. This was the most entertaining game of the series by far. But the good news for Calgary is they're consistent with shots across each period. The fact that Dallas won this game, only putting up 8 shots in the third, that's another reason it makes me so nervous about Calgary. Look, if you're going to beat Dallas, you outclass them in every area of the ice. You should be beating them by 2 or 3 goals. But the longer this series stays close and the longer they stay 1-1 and 2-2 games, the more trouble Calgary is going to have. If you let Dallas hang around, they will beat you. And I was on a live stream today with my buddy Zach Nolan at the Nolan Hockey Podcast. We have amazing fans over at this channel. Can you guys go over to the Nolan Hockey Podcast for me? Put it in. His link's down below. It's also Nolan Hockey Podcast. Just smash the subscribe for me. Let's get this kid to 1,000 subs. He deserves it. He's been grinding for 2 years at this. He's passionate. Help my buddy out. Help him get to 1,000 so he can get monetized. We'd really appreciate it. Also, while you're here, we'd really appreciate a thumbs up for us, whether you're a Stars or a Flames fan. Look, we're not trying to rag on either of your teams. We love you being here for the best hockey analysis on YouTube. Smash the subscribe down below and join our Discord. We want to hang out with you. We want to talk to you. We want to talk to you in round 2, especially as the playoffs end up shrinking. But Calgary, you're going to have to make round 2. You don't, hey, we got to jump on the Edmonton and the Dallas bandwagon, right? That's the way we got to go. So, the end of the game, at least there's some consistency in shots. There's some bite and there's some fight from the Flames, but Johnny Gaudreau is going to have to show up. The fact he missed on that breakaway at the end of the game is on your stick. Big-time players make big-time plays in big-time moments in big-time games. And Johnny Gaudreau just didn't do it. He hasn't shown up yet. So Mr. Hart Trophy, Mr. Best in the season, I'm really starting to lower my opinion again of him because you cannot show up in these types of games and go quiet when your best player, second best player in the NHL right now behind Austin Matthews, right up there was the argument. Is it McDavid? Is it Gaudreau? Is it Matthews? Well, guess what? McDavid and Matthews are doing their job in the playoffs and Johnny Hockey is asleep again. That's a huge problem. You better wake up and figure out how to play this game, kid. I don't care how small you are. I don't care how tiny you are. I don't care what the excuse is. Your job is to score goals. You want that big contract, which you'll likely get anyway, but you want your name in the annals, annals of history. You got to score some goals. You got to get in there. You got to get some goddamn jam, buddy. Like, you got to do it, Gaudreau. So, anywho, there's not much to redeem and take away from the Flames other than Markstrom's playing well. Oettinger's outplaying him. You got some consistency with shots. Your top 2 lines have gone to sleep. They need to wake up. Long series left. You let me know how you think. Comment down below. Let me know if we got it right on this one. There's not a ton to comment on for it. And Dallas, just keep doing your thing. If Dallas can hang around, they can definitely take this series. The momentum hugely swung the Stars' way.